What is going on, YouTube? So today I want to talk to you guys about Sony wrecking some of their games, and also all future Xbox One and PS4 games running at a full 1080p 60 FPS. But before we get started, make sure to like and subscribe button. It really helps my channel, and let's jump right into it. So first, I want to talk to you guys about Sony wrecking some of their PS4 games, and what I mean by that is Call of Duty Advanced Warfare on the PS4. And in case you guys don't know, it's running at 1080p natively and 60 FPS on the PS4. And in case you don't know, Sony's been really hard and pushing 1920 by 1080p on all their games and 60 FPS, even if the game can't physically handle it because of the specs inside the box. So Sledgehammer Games put out a game, is running at 1080p native, 60 FPS on the PS4, and then on the Xbox One, it's running at a dynamic resolution. And what that means is it's going to change the resolution as the game progresses and the intensity of the stuff on the screen and stuff like that. And there's a lot of stuff on the screen, it'll dip down the resolution, but it won't dip down the frame rate. So the scaling goes like this. The lowest possible resolution you can get at any time on the Xbox One is 1360 by 1080. And that's a little weird resolution, to be honest with you. And then when stuff starts to lighten up, there's not as many AI people on there, it goes back up to 1920 by 1080. So that's a little bit of sacrifice. Yeah, it's not running at full 1080p like the PS4. But the thing is, Digital Foundry did a bunch of tests on both platforms, and there's not a physical difference. You can't see any difference in them. They're exactly the same picture quality from the PS4 and the Xbox One. So there's no difference between both of them. But the one difference between both versions is the frame rate. The PS4 has, I kind of have to say, major frame rate issues. It dips down to the low 40. Sony's version of the game is very volatile, and me personally, I would go for a more solid frame rate, especially in Call of Duty, because you really want a solid frame rate because it's a very Twitch-based shooter, and you don't want dips in frame rate to affect your gaming experience. And for the Xbox One version, it locked in a 60 FPS. There weren't any dips. If it dipped, it maybe dipped a frame for a second, but that's it. It was pretty much locked at 60. And now I want to move over to all future PS4 and Xbox One games running at 1920 by 1080 at 60 FPS. And there's really one way to do this, and that is to do the dynamic resolution. I feel like that's a really good way to improve your frame rate, because frame rate is more important than resolution to me, especially when it's dynamic, and most of the time it's upscaled to 1080p anyways. So I feel like that would be a great way for developers to achieve the 60 FPS mark, especially in open world games. In case you don't know, the console market really struggles to improve upon the 30 FPS lock on the open world games. And I feel like if they did implement the dynamic resolution, they would be able to achieve this. Although I'm not saying I'm a game developer and know how this all works, but I would like to see some developers try this. Like, it would be really cool. Say Grand Theft Auto 5 on the next generation consoles could run at 60 FPS and just have that dynamic resolution. If there's more stuff on the screen, you scale back the resolution while not hurting the frame rate, which would be really cool to see in the open world games, and especially some of these other games that aren't open world, to achieve the 60 FPS mark that a lot of these PC gamers always love and like about PC games, because they can run a higher frame rate. So that's just my thoughts. I feel like that dynamic resolution should be included in more and more games on the console market to achieve that higher frame rate, with the console market be limited by such hardware inside the box. But that's just my opinion. Leave me down in the comment section below on what you guys think about frame rate and resolution and stuff like that. But if you haven't already, make sure to like and subscribe button. It really helps my channel, and I'll see you next time.